Argumentative Intelligence Part 2 Mental Shortcuts. The Economy of Thought. People have a limited capacity to remember and explain arguments and their supporting details. Thus, if we waste time doing inefficient things in an argument, the best case for each side will be less likely to develop. Mental shortcuts. Due to the existence of the economy of thought, people with argumentative intelligence develop and rely upon mental shortcuts. A mental shortcut is an admission that a certain fact, supporting argument, or logic chain either did or did not work before, and thus will have the same outcome in similar situations. This saves the debaters from having to hash out the details each time it is brought up. Examples of mental shortcuts in action: fallacies. Fallacies are logical flaws that appear to be persuasive and correct, but are always objectively illogical. For example, in an ad hominem fallacy, a debater attacks the opponent rather than the argument. Ad hominem arguments always add zero value to an argument, either for or against. Example of mental shortcuts in action: fallacies, hypothetical. Jim says that vaccines are good for human health. Elizabeth responds, "You were just saying that because you work for a pharmaceutical company." If Elizabeth has argumentative intelligence, Jim can merely say ad hominem fallacy, and Elizabeth should accept defeat. This will free up the pair to discuss the merits of the matter and not forget or overlook substantive points, increasing the odds that they'll find the truth about vaccines. If Elizabeth lacks argumentative intelligence, she will debate whether or not ad hominem arguments truly have no value. The pair will stray off the topic of vaccines, and precious mental resources in the economy of thought will go wasted. Example of mental shortcuts in action: omissions of expertise. Hypothetical. Elizabeth is a physicist who works in aerodynamics for a car company. She tells Jim cars get their best gas mileage at 55 miles per hour in order to justify going slow to save money on her trip with Jim. Jim wants to go quicker at the expense of cost. If Jim lacks argumentative intelligence, he will make Elizabeth prove why 55 miles per hour is the most efficient speed, rather than focusing on the merits of quick travel versus cost savings. Elizabeth will have to spend limited mental energy arguing about commonly understood and sophisticated concepts of physics rather than the main argument. If Jim has argumentative intelligence, he will simply engage in an omission of expertise. Barring some sophisticated knowledge of why 55 miles per hour is not the most efficient speed for cars, he will simply concede the point. Summary. It is not pragmatic or usually even possible to raise all points, supporting facts, and logical structures in a debate. In order to find truth, debaters must then rely upon and accept mental shortcuts. Once a point is established as a winner or loser, arguing over it again is counterproductive to finding truth.